This is Poison Skies, and we are Green India by Big Story Network. There is something you did this morning that you did not even think about, even once. You breathed. You breathed when you woke up, you breathed when you stepped outside, you breathed on your commute, in your office, in your kitchen, in your sleep, roughly 22,000 times today and tomorrow and every day of your life. Breathing is the most instinctive, automatic, invisible thing a human being does. And in India, it is slowly killing us. Not dramatically, not with a headline moment, not with the urgency of a flood or a spectacle of building collapse, but quietly, persistently, breath by breath. India's air is taking years off the lives of every single person in this country. The rich, the poor, the young, the old, but not equally, never equally. Most people think air pollution is a Delhi problem, a winter problem, a stubble burning problem that trends on Twitter in November and disappears by December. Actually, it is not. India's average PM 2.5 concentration in 2024 was 50.6 micrograms per cubic meter. The World Health Organization's safe limit is 5 micrograms per cubic meter. We are breathing air that is nearly 11 times more toxic than what the world considers safe every single day of the year. India is the fifth most polluted country on the planet. Since 1990, death rates from ambient air pollution in India have more than doubled. In 2019 alone, household and ambient air pollution together contributed to around 1.7 million deaths. The economic losses from that health burden amounted to $36 billion, 1.36% of India's entire GDP gone. Not to floods, not to war, just to the air. And here's the part that should make every Indian stop and think. A 2024 study found that PM 2.5 reduces the average India's life expectancy by 5.3 years. Not in the future, right now. Every Indian alive today is expected to live 5.3 years less simply because of the air around them. This is not a weather event, this is not an accident. This is a quiet, daily permitted dose of poison administered to every Indian in every city in every breath. Now, we want you to step inside a kitchen, not a modern kitchen with an exhaust fan and a gas stove, a kitchen in rural India. Four walls, a low roof, no windows, a woman crouching over a chula, a traditional biomass stove, burning wood, crop waste, or dung to cook the morning meal of a family. She does this twice a day, every day for years. What she does not know, or what she knows but has no choice about, is that every time she lights that fire, she releases a cocktail of poisons into the small, enclosed space: PM 2.5, carbon monoxide, benzene, sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxides, carcinogens that penetrate the deepest parts of the human lung and never fully leave. Household emissions from burning biomass contribute between 30 and 50% of India's ambient PM 2.5 levels year round. And who bears the highest exposure? A woman cooking, and the children sitting closest to her. This is not a story about poor air quality in a distant city. This is a story about a mother poisoning herself, not out of ignorance, not out of choice, but because no affordable, accessible alternative has ever reached her door. Air pollution is not just an outdoor crisis. For hundreds of millions of Indian women, the most dangerous air they breathe is inside their own home, and we have barely spoken about it. Here is a fact that should disturb every Indian deeply. The air quality standards India uses today were set in 2009, before a wealth of global and Indian evidence was published on lethal effects of PM 2.5, before we even understood how deeply fine particulate matter penetrates the human body, before 1.5 million annual deaths were linked to India's polluted air was by Lancet. Those standards have not been updated since, and under those outdated standards, the air in many Indian cities are classified safe, good, acceptable. 33,000 people die every year in just 10 Indian cities breathing air that has been officially declared safe. Meanwhile, in 2025, India's junior health minister told the parliament that there is no conclusive data to establish a direct correlation between air pollution and death. This, despite research led by the Indian Council of Medical Research, the Public Health Foundation of India, IIT Bombay, and collaborations with the Health Effects Institute in Boston and University of Chicago. Science exists, the deaths are documented, the evidence is overwhelming. But acknowledging the crisis means acting on it. And acting on it means confronting the industries, the vehicles, the power plants, and the policies that make it profitable to keep the air poisoned. So the standard stays unchanged. The pollution, the poison stays permitted, and Indians keep dying inside the boundaries of what has been declared acceptable. But across India, in places you never see on the news, people are fighting back. In Chandrapur, Maharashtra, a city so saturated with coal and industrial pollution, it is known as the city of black gold. An environmentalist named Bhagwan Keshbhat founded Vatavaran, a non-profit that does what the government has not, runs community air quality monitoring networks, tracks PM 2.5 levels, and puts the data directly into the hands of people breathing that air. Because when communities can see the numbers, they can demand action. In rural India, women self help groups are driving the adoption of clean cooking stoves, replacing biomass chulas with improved cook stoves and biogas units that cut indoor pollution by up to 90%. These are not just government programs. These are women organizing themselves, pooling resources, and refusing to accept that poisoning themselves while cooking is simply the way things are. In Delhi, citizen air quality networks are mapping pollution hotspots at the neighborhood level, data that no government sensor captures, giving residents the evidence they need to push back against polluting industries and construction sites. And Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra are piloting clean air action plans at the district level, moving beyond the Delhi centric national conversation to acknowledge that this is a pan India crisis that demands local, specific, community driven solutions. The system has failed to protect them, so they are protecting themselves. Now, we want to speak to you directly. You may not live near a coal plant, you may not cook on a biomass stove, but you are breathing the same sky. Check your city's air quality index every morning, the same way you check the weather. On the days when the AQI is high, keep children and family members indoors. Wear a proper mask, not a cloth mask, but an N95 on high pollution days. These are small actions, but they are not nothing. If you own a vehicle, consider the days you do not need to use it. Every car left in the garage on a bad air day is a small contribution to the air that someone's child is breathing outside. Push for clean cooking in your community. If you know family is still using the biomass stoves, connect them with the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana scheme, which provides subsidized LPG connections to households below poverty line. One clean stove is a woman spending less on her life breathing poison. And demand accountability from your elected representatives. Ask them, what is the air quality standard in your city? When was it last measured? What is being done about the industries and the vehicle contributing to it? The air does not belong to the government. It does not belong to the industry. It belongs to every Indian who breathes it. And we have the right to demand action that to be clean. In ancient India, Vayu, the god of air, was not worshipped as a symbol. He was worshipped because our ancestors understood something we have forgotten. Air is not a resource, air is not a commodity. Air is the one thing every living being on this earth shares equally: the rich, the poor, the powerful, the powerless, the king, and the child crouching by the chula. We did not inherit this air from our ancestors, we are borrowing it from our children. And right now, we are returning it poisoned. But the people you met in this episode, the environmentalist in Chandrapur measuring what no one else is measuring, the women in rural India replacing their chulas one by one, the citizens mapping their own air because the government will not, they are not waiting for permission to breathe clean. They are changing the air themselves. One stove, one sensor, one tree, one breath at a time. The sky above India belongs to all of us, and what we do with it is a debt we owe each other. This is Green India by Big Story. If this mattered to you, share it with the one person because the air we save today is the breath someone takes tomorrow. See you in the next one.